Okay, so you know how I said I was gonna have an imperfect story ready for you guys last week? So, see what had happened was. Hi everyone, Anjali here. Thank you so much for tuning in for another weekly update on my 30 Days of Do challenge. If you're new to me or new to whatever the heck I'm doing here, I'm a dreamer, an overthinker, an experimenter, and soon to be auntie, just trying to figure some things out. And for the month of July, I decided to do a 30-day challenge, mostly to challenge myself to do things that either I was scared to do, I've always wanted to try to help me get unstuck, to help me learn some new things, and to just get out of my own way in a sense. So that is what I'm doing, and that's why I'm here. So thank you for tuning in. All right, so let's get into it. So last week was week 3, and it was all about storytelling. And so with that, my goal was to write a personal essay at the end of the week. And so I did a storytelling class on Skillshare. It was a storytelling class led by Roxane Gay. Yes, that Roxane Gay. And it was about writing a personal essay. And it was a really great class. If you ever have a chance, if it's ever interesting to you, I would suggest, taking a peek at it. No, not sponsored at all. My life is not sponsored yet, but it was really great. So after going through it and just brainstorming on, what story did I want to tell, what I wanted to do, and, doing some research and things like that, I started procrastinating just a little bit. Yeah, so I kept doubting myself, not knowing if my story was good enough to tell, if it was interesting enough, if I did enough research, if I could even write well at all. And yeah, I just, basically, as usual, my own worst enemy, myself, my brain, my overthinking brain, kind of got in the way and kind of held me back a little bit in the process. So yeah, it's never fun. It's very annoying, actually. I knew what I was doing. I kind of understood what I was going up against when I started doing this. And writing has always been a struggle for me. It always takes me a lot longer to write because I overthink things and I want things to be perfect, and it's not like my best skill, so it makes it even worse. And so there were definitely times throughout this whole process that, I would research new terms or try to research something else, and maybe doubt my story and be like, maybe I should switch it midway through, be something else. Or I would take like breaks, snack breaks, or breaks on TikTok just to scroll and be like, oh, I need to break or whatever. But no, I was just procrastinating really. And I wasn't really helping myself move forward. But eventually Sunday night, I was watching the Olympics, like a good amount of people are doing right now. So watching the Olympics, and I just felt like, you know what, maybe let me just start putting some words in on the page. So I started typing words or two, and then it turned into a full sentence and more sentences and paragraphs and just different sections of what this essay could be. And it was a first draft, and I kept trying to force myself, like, don't try to edit while you're writing, just put it down and you can come back later and figure out the pieces that you're missing, or things that just don't sound right. So eventually, it was pretty late evening Sunday, I got most of a first draft done. Not a full first draft. I got most of it done. I was getting really tired, so I could not, keep going because my brain was just fried. But I am close, so that is something to celebrate, and I'm really happy about it. I'm like closer to my goal of what I wanted to do, than I was 3 days ago. And that's really cool. And I know, some of you are like, okay, cool, but you missed your deadline, you didn't make your deadline. And so why are you celebrating when you don't have anything finished? And what I would like to say, to that rude person who I didn't ask, I didn't ask for, all this smoke. I'm happy about it because one, I did get further along than I thought I would, because part of me thought I would kind of, punk out at the last minute and not complete it or not even try it. And then two, I learned some stuff about myself, so that's really cool too. I learned throughout this process that one, I had to write them down because I would forget, but one, I need to allow a little bit more space for me to write and create, especially in like written form. Forcing myself to do it in a certain amount of time, especially it's something new for me, it's a little hard. And I know that writing is going to take me longer than most people, because it takes me a little while longer to flesh out the idea that I want and get it to where I feel like, it used to be where it was perfect, but now it's more of just like where a good, like a solid thing. And number two, I need to develop more of like a creative practice or process. If I do want to continue to be creative in some way, it would be really helpful kind of to develop some sort of process that, even though I'm not always going to have a forever to be able to create something, because really I'm creating this for me, like it's not for anybody else. But that's not always going to be the case. So it'd be really nice to have some sort of like process or something I can lean back on in those times when I might have a hard deadline or want to finish something within a certain period of time. And I can figure out how and what that looks like for me and what feels right. So I'm not freaking out when I have to do something new or do something like this. And it gives me some form of structure to operate in and not feel like I'm just making it up as I go. And the last lesson of this is my just remembering and retelling myself a lot of times is that my story is my story. It's not anybody else's. It's not really, for everyone to relate to or to understand. It could just be the rambling of something that it sounds so stupid and trivial to others, but it had an impact on me and where I am today. And so it's a valid thing. It's a valid experience. So not to get too worried if it's not like relatable. Obviously there are ways in which to tell the story, even if it might feel mundane. You can always figure out a way to talk about it. So just being more comfortable and secure in myself and my own experiences, and not feeling it has to be like wild and crazy in order to be written about or talked about. So, like I said, I don't have a final draft yet, and that's okay. There are still a few things that I want to do in order to get it to that final draft process. During the class with Roxanne Game, she said something, and I might like butcher what she said, and hopefully I'm saying it correctly, and if I'm taking it out of context, please correct me. But she said something along the lines of, when you're writing and it's getting to the final draft phase, revisions, and you're getting close to publishing, like, it's okay to publish an imperfect story, because that's fine, but it's not okay to publish a sloppy piece of work, right? And I don't want to publish something that's sloppy, has a lot of grammatical error, feels like it's jumping all around. I mean, it might be that way because it is my first one, so it might just be terrible, but I want to do the story justice, because it is my story. I wanted to do it justice and do myself justice by what I'm trying to say and talk about and convey, because it is personal to me. I found myself crying a few times, even just trying to like force myself to even be something that would be open to the public. So it's going to take a little time. It's not going to be published tomorrow. It might not even be published by the end of this week. It will be published, you know, by this year, but I mean, and when I say published, I'm probably just going to throw it up on my blog, but it'll be out there eventually. And when it is, I will definitely let you all know, and then you can, you know, critique me all you want. But in the meantime, thank you all again for tuning in. This week, this current week, it's the last week of July. It's all about home life. So basically, it's chores. Okay, but not really. Okay, it's not really just about chores. It's just about me clearing and like purging out different areas of my space, things that I've been wanting to do for a while. In areas I've been wanting to get to for a while, but I've put off. So it's really time to just cleanse, purge, and feel like I'm in a space that is, that I'm enjoying to be in, and things like that. So thank you again for tuning in. I will try my best to document my purging if possible and cleaning. But until next time, until the next update, have a great rest of your day, a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.